Hi, I'm Heidi Campbell. I'm here to talk about the best, the worst, and the future of professional development in my life. Professional development experience that was the best for me was one that I went to when I went years and years ago to a writing conference. The conference was dedicated to learning the best ways to teach writing to students. And we were divided into groups, um, small groups, and we got back together with these small groups all day long throughout the conference. Uh, and it mixed in listening to professional writers, listening to educators, and then breaking back into these smaller groups to really have time to reflect. And when we were in these smaller groups, we worked with actually published authors who worked with us to model lessons that we could use with our students. And we worked collaboratively with these same groups throughout the day, and we were able to really, really benefit from what we learned about each other and about each other's practices. The position statements article that we read from the NCTE uh, really highlighted some of the features that I got to practice in this particular workshop, and not only honed in on meaningful collaboration, but it also allowed for reflection as to how we might use these strategies in our own classrooms. It was an empowering experience, and I ended up using a lot of these strategies for years and years. The worst professional development that I ever experienced was a county-provided staff development experience about how we were supposed to use a brand new student management system at our school. The system was going to be or became our gradebook, attendance, student data hub. And we were sent to this training, and it was horrible. The teacher of this professional development was not at all hip to any sort of professional development pedagogy. She spoke in a monotone. She had us set up in a room where none of us had any access to computers, so we couldn't follow along. So we were forced to sit there and simply watch her go through this technology application without being able to go through it ourselves as she went along, which would have made it a much better learning experience. She broke nearly every single rule that the Effective Teacher Professional Development article that we read mentioned. Um, Perhaps the most detrimental piece that she missed was the active learning that should have gone on and should have been embedded into this particular staff development. We should have been trying out this new program um, with hands-on practice, where we could have asked questions and been able to really see for ourselves how it would work. Instead, she lectured and ran through the technology up on a screen where none of us could even see what the words were on the screen. It was really a big waste of our time because in the end, the teachers were left with frustration and confusion, and none of us really knew what we were doing. So it was really ineffective. One way that I would provide uh, professional development learning experiences to colleagues in my current role, actually, I do a great deal of professional development in my current role as a media specialist. And it's something that I'm continually working to create for teachers, particularly in these days of digital learning. I've sort of teamed up with our school's LSTC, and we are really working together on lots of projects. But one of the ways that I plan to use some PD is to create a series of video tutorials for teachers to use about how they can use the school's database resources and WebPath resources to help provide research ideas and activities and course content for their classes. So I'm hoping that those will be helpful tools that teachers can use and can use as needed um, to help them with their course content. So thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your day.